Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. I'm here as always with my good friend Dan Wiseman. Dan, Ian Maatsen is a villain. This is exciting. It's official. It's got done pretty quickly, right? We were contemplating. I mean, it has to be like 3 weeks ago now. It was before I went out to the States about, should we sit down and record the Ross Barkley announcement? Probably a good job we didn't do that.
Mate, this, like, of all the podcasts that we do, right, whether it's previews, post-matches, even big games, transfer rumors, I do think these are the best podcasts to record. Like, the excitement of a new signing, particularly one of this magnitude. You just got all of these unknowns ahead of you, and you can't wait to see what they can do, how they fit in, or you start to get the announcement photos and the videos come through. It's just great. I absolutely love it, mate. And as I say, when it's a player of this ability, it's just great. I kind of said on the Maatsen episode that we did not long ago, when we qualified for the Champions League, these are the kind of players that we hope we'd sign. These are the kind of exciting rumours that slowly materialised that we were all dreaming of as the season was ticking on. Like, what would our squad look like next season? And I think we found our first choice left back.
Absolutely. There was a few comments on that podcast sort of suggesting that maybe he isn't as good as the options that we have. I would just implore you guys to watch the clips, because this is a phenomenal talent who, as we mentioned previously, made it into the Champions League team of the tournament, played in the Champions League final, albeit gave away all for one of Real Madrid's goals. But everyone has a bad day at work. Everybody does, so we can forgive him of that. But what's really exciting about this deal, mate, is Maatsen plays with this sort of freedom and energy that like only a sort of young, confident player, like Maatsen can play. And in the position that he plays in, which is left back or anywhere, as a matter of fact, down that left-hand side, he can play on the wing, he can play as a wing back. He's comfortable anywhere, which is, another big plus. But the energy and dynamism that he offers down this side, in, stark contrast to both Luca Dean and Alex Moreno, this revolutionises how Villa play and how we attack down that left-hand side, which we know is a popular outlet for us. It can't be overstated how important this signing could be. And I don't want, to sort of get lost in the hyperbole, but it's night and day between him and the current options that we have at left-back. Attacking is the first and only thing that's on this guy's mind. With that being said, he is very capable at defending as well. He's averaging 2.05 tackles per 90, 1.2 interceptions per 90, 1.63 blocks, and 2.87 clearances per 90. He's a two-way defender. He is the epitome of a modern fullback. And dare I say it, in a few years' time, we'll be talking about this guy on the same sort of level as we do with Alphonso Davies, Ferland Mendy, those guys.
Man, I think you're absolutely right. There's a really great piece in The Athletic by said Stafford Bloor that goes over exactly why Ian Maatsen's been so beloved by Borussia Dortmund fans in his brief time there. There's some glowing reports from all through the club, from his teammates to those right at the top. It's been an amazing loan, but there's some really nice words from Gregor Kobel, actually, the Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper, who said he always wants the ball and he's really clever in how he uses it, how he positions himself. He always finds the right pass. And I think, when guys are thinking about the fullbacks that we have, and, it's mainly, you have to give Luca Dean and Alex Moreno credit in that they are very good at that overlapping, bombing on. But those are the traditional skills of an attacking fullback, right? Which Ian Maatsen has covered. There's an amazing goal he scored in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. But Ian Maatsen has that amazing ability, that amazing pace, that dynamism to go around a winger and cut crosses in and cut backs. But it's actually what he's able to do in the middle of the pitch, which is just as impressive. So according to FBref, 5.9 progressive passes per 90, which is the 94th percentile, 41.8 percent of touches in the middle of the third of the pitch per 90, which again is in the 94th percentile and ranks in the 96th percentile for total carrying distance per game. So actually his ability to come inside with the ball is just as good as his ability to go around the outside with the ball, which means that Ian Maatsen as a profile is so interesting because he can invert, he can overlap, and so game by game, defenders aren't going to know what to do with him, but it means that Unai can use him in so many different ways. He's such a good option to have, and as I said, he's always a willing runner, he's always open, always wanting to receive the ball, and he is young and he is going to make mistakes. You know, you saw in the Champions League final, you know, he comes out wide to pick up the ball. I think it's from Marco Reus, and there's a misplaced pass that leads to a goal. And, you know, it is important to remember that he's still young, he's still developing. Just this time 2 years ago, he was only on loan at Burnley. But the trajectory that he's been on, kind of culminating with that knockout goal against Atletico Madrid, is part of the project that we're buying into. This is the talent that we're looking to develop. And we're just very much, I think, the most important thing for him is finding a permanent home where he can play football, where he can be the number one option. And so I think for us to jump in here and get this done for quite a very modest fee, I think all things considered, is just a great deal.
Absolutely. And I don't think a single fan base of the teams that this guy's played for have that much of bad word to say about him. Burnley were desperate to re-sign him upon their promotion. He was, you know, vital in their championship winning season. And, you know, when you look at Chelsea, the Chelsea fans didn't want to let him go. And when you look at the sort of the tumultuous time that they've had with injuries and, you know, specifically with left backs, when you look at the seasons that Cucurella and Chilwell have both had, you know, disrupted by injury, poor form, this is a guy who could have been a very viable option for Chelsea and perhaps should have been, but actually, you know, managed to flourish for Dortmund in the Bundesliga. So, yeah, and sorry, there was another comment on the last podcast about why haven't Dortmund tried to sign him? They have. Dortmund tried to get this one wrapped up pretty quickly, just didn't happen. You know, they were willing to pay the release clause. It's got to be said as well, you know, and Terzic obviously left his position after the Champions League final. They've now appointed Nuri Sahin as manager, so there's going to be some overlap issues, admin, whatnot, you know, when it comes to appointing a new manager. So, you know, Maatsen has fortunately found a home here at B6, and I, for mate, cannot wait to see him play.
Exactly, and, you know, he's away at the Euros at the moment, which, you know, does come with a little caveat. You know, he was called up to an injury to Coat Miners, I believe, and so, you know, he didn't make the original squad. But I think there's been some definitely interesting choices by Ronald Koeman with that Netherlands squad. I think he should definitely be in there, and so yeah, he's away with the Euros at the moment. Looks like this deal was done on video calls. So if it's good enough for the club, mate, it's good enough for us. It's great to have this one over the line, and it looks like a 6-year deal as well, which. Does that just take us to 2030? It's crazy.
Amortization, mate. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It all comes back to PSR. That's all it ever comes back to. But guys, let us know your thoughts on this transfer in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, hit a like and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Up the Villa.